few weeks ago, Kodak released their 200 Gold film in 120 format. And like every single other film photographer out there, I bought some as soon as it came out and went and took some photos with a friend. The photos I took on that test roll were absolutely awful and completely not worth making a video about. My friend Andrew took some absolute bangers on his 645, so you can go and check out his video, which I'll link in the description. But I was focused on something else that day. I recently bought a cheap little Super 8 camera off of eBay and my first 50-foot roll of film. And I thought, you know what, hanging out Botanical Gardens with another film photographer could be a good time to test it out and make sure it all works. So that's exactly what I did. And I have to say that I think I'm hooked. If you do want to know more about how I got on with it and maybe like the labs I used and the costs involved, then just stick around till after this clip and I'll go over that then. But otherwise, enjoy. Really hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, it's just a little bit of test footage. There's no filmmaking or storytelling chops to show off here. Just wanted to make sure the camera worked and get my head around the process. So speaking of process, I got this processed at Gauge Film. Actually, I bought a little bundle from them. So it was the reel, the processing, and the scanning all in one deal. And I think including shipping, I think it was like 69 quid and then maybe 75 with shipping for the whole thing. And that's for a 2K scan. It was only test footage. It's not commercial work, so I thought 2K would be good enough to look at. I think if it was commercial, then I would go for the 4K scan. And the reason that I've done this is because I actually think 8mm film is something that's really going to work well with my clients. It's going to fit well with the type of work I like to make, the type of people my clients are. So I shot this on Kodak Vision3 200T, which is a tungsten balanced film, 200 ASA. But the camera, if I've read the manual correctly, it doesn't have that many options with regards to setting the film speed. So the camera basically sets the film speed when you insert the cartridge via little micro switches. And I think the way it's interpreted those switches is it actually sets it to 100 ASA. But I don't think that's a big issue, because if you've shot negative film, then you'll have seen advice around that it's better to err on the side of overexposure than underexposure. And as you'll see, there's no issue with the highlights there. I think there's also the orange filter to take into consideration to convert it from tungsten to daylight, which is going to knock out a tiny bit of light as well. So I think the metering did amazing. There was no moment where I felt like the highlights were gone. Even there's one scene where I used the little backlit subject switch, which just opens up the aperture a little more, lets a bit more light in, but that was when Andrew walked past the window, and I actually kind of like the sort of fluctuation that's there on the film, like that slight highlight bloom. But yeah, I shot the whole thing on auto exposure. You can set the aperture manually if you want, but I don't really think that's the point of Super 8. I think it's very much a point and shoot type thing. And personally, I really just enjoyed doing it. I think, you know, I'm not going to go and spend 70 quid on film to shoot B-roll for YouTube videos or stuff, but on a commercial project where the client wants something really unique, like maybe some video portraits, music videos, an obvious one as well, it's not an insurmountable ask to cover the costs of that on top of your editing and grading time. Grading, by the way, the footage comes back as a log scan, so it's really flat, and then there's loads of room to kind of edit the colors how you see fit. But I found it so easy to edit the colors to look good to me. I think that might be slightly better illustrated on the other bit of footage I shot, which was outside of the Peak District with Holly running around in a linen dress. So definitely go check that one out if you've not seen it already. There's none of me waffling on that. It's just a lovely little minute and a half of nice footage. And let me know what you think about the footage. I'd love some feedback, especially on maybe the color grading element of it. But hopefully I'll be able to share a little bit more Super 8 stuff with you soon. Already speaking to a couple of clients about working it into something for them, and they seem really keen. So I think that'll be fun, commercial 8mm work. Very excited about that. And then I guess next stop is 16mm.